and my life's a mess. Second guess everything I do. I gotta listen to Prion's Corner. Learn and play, smile the day away. Live, love, you know your order. I gotta listen to, help me get my life in order. I gotta listen to Prion's Corner. Hello. Hey. Hi everybody. It's me, Prion Suaency, here with another episode of Prion's Corner, in case you couldn't tell by the amazing title song. How's it going? Did you miss me? Have you been furiously baking cookies to send to me so I can munch on them and make horrible ASMR sounds in your headphones? If you listen to me on headphones. If you listen to me at all. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're not even listening right now. What else can you hear right now apart from the sound of my voice, my dulcet tones? What else is going on in your soundscape? And, let's focus on the subtle sounds. Forget about, people revving their car engines or kids yelling or old people yelling or, your neighbour's stereo blasting or the dog barking or the power tools going or animals making animal noises. What are some of the subtle noises that you don't really even notice, that you just that just go through to your subconscious? They've become part of the audio, the sonic furniture. Maybe it's time to pay attention to them, and you might be surprised that there's a weird orchestra of like micro sounds all around you. Or maybe you're in a silent, 100% silent room, or maybe you're in outer space. I don't know. Do astronauts, do you copy, astronauts? Do astronauts receive me? I don't know. Get in touch. Send me a picture of Mars. I'd absolutely love to see a photo of Mars. I mean, I've seen a few, but if someone sent me one personally, that would be an absolute treat. I would love that. That's a good segue. Mars, space. Shape of the day, as requested by Dr. Evers, one of the staff in the metaphysics department, has requested the Tesseract be the shape of the day. So today's shape of the day is the Tesseract, otherwise known as the hypercube. I'm tiny bit familiar with this little fellow. I remember watching that Carl Sagan show from ages ago. I forget what it's called. It's like Cosmos. I'm pretty sure it's just Cosmos. Or how do you pronounce that? Cosmos or Cosmos? Or Cosmos? Cosmos. Carl Sagan's Cosmos. I love that show. Absolutely love it. He's such a entertaining but straightforward sort of dude. And I remember him telling us about it. And he's sitting there in his office and he's got like a table. And so basically he describes the Tesseract as like a cube in the fourth dimension. So, we experience 3 dimensions, right? And, when you turn on your TV and you watch a cartoon, that's 2 dimensions, right? Like, paper. Well, paper's kind of 2-dimensional. Although if you zoom in, paper does have a thickness, so it is 3-dimensional. but you generally think of it as two-dimensional. So we can't even imagine a fourth dimension. What about time? I hear someone yell out. Yeah, that's true. That could be considered a fourth dimension, but I think the Tesseract is a four-dimensional cube in space. So time is not space. I mean, that's an argument for another day, but trying to stay on track here. It's a pretty messy track to be on, the Tesseractually. So yeah, basically, if you haven't seen a picture of one, it's not what it looks like in, I think it was Thor and the Marvel. It's not a weird red smoky cube. I think it was red, might be blue. Doesn't matter. That's not the real one. The real one looks like just like a cube inside a cube. That's how we visualize it. Although we can't really see what it really looks like because we can't experience the fourth dimension. I'm getting a little bit lost here, but I'll just I'll find my way through the Tesseract. I think if you unfold it, it unfolds into a bunch of more cubes, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cubes maybe. So like a square. You draw a square on a bit of paper. That's two-dimensional. And then how many sides has that got? That's got 4 sides. So if you pull that out into the third dimension, you imagine a cube for every side, or a surface for every side. So you go from line to surface, and 4 surfaces. That doesn't make sense either. Yeah, so do your own research. Tesseract, cube in a cube. But the important thing is it's so when you visualize this cube inside a cube, it's actually connected. So each corner is connected to its nearest corner. So the little cube inside the bigger cube, the corner of the little cube's connected to the outer cube's connected to the Tesseract, and then you go into fourth dimension, and then you go into theory of relativity. But before we get there, so you draw that picture, right? And you go, oh, okay, that's a Tesseract. I've drawn that picture. But wrong, because each angle in reality, in the fourth dimension, if that is reality, is actually a right angle, and each box, each square, each face, or quadrilateral, I think it's called, is actually a perfect square. But if you look at your drawing, even if you did a really good drawing, I'm sure you did, you can't do it. It's impossible, because you might have a few squares in there, but you've got a bunch of trapeziums and, I don't know, diamonds and triangles. You've probably got all sorts of shit in there. I'm not hassling your picture, but it's a messy son bitch. And yeah, so it's impossible to draw one or make one. But if you made a 3D model of your shitty drawing, the cube inside the cube, it's still not accurate. We know that already, Prion. Thanks for telling us again. But if you put that on the window next to where you ate your sad and dirty blood burger slider, next to your triangle, and you let the light hit that cube, that Tesseract, that shitty Tesseract you made, and let the shadow fall on the wall or whatever, it'll look like a 3D cube. 2D shadow looks like a 3D cube though. So, we're jumping up. We're just imagining jumping dimensions. That's deep. That's a deep intro to begin with. But, I haven't finished yet actually. Might as well take it to my limit. So Carl Sagan, he goes, imagine if you live in a two-dimensional land, you live in a cartoon land, you're just a cartoon, mate. And I'm 3D. And I grab my cube, whatever, maybe it's my lunchbox, and I don't know if many people have a cube lunchbox, and I go, hey, look at my new lunchbox, and I want to show you, but you're in 2D land. I don't think Carl Sagan uses lunchbox, and I put it flat on the bit of paper, because that's where you live. But you can't see all the how high it is because you don't know height. You just know forward and left or right or whatever. You don't know up. So you just see this square of lunchbox, and you go, oh yeah, that's a cool lunchbox, And if I could move it through, you might see different slices. You'd be so confused. You'd go, oh my God, his lunchbox is like morphing. And that's roughly how Carl described it. I thought it was pretty cool. He described it probably a bit better. And so we've got 4 dimensions in space. That's just bizarre. And we're going to, just forget about time. We don't have time for that. And so this is related to Euclidean space. So people came up with this a long time ago, and they reckon space is Euclidean space is like it's flat. It's just straight up. It's kind of how you imagine space, I guess. Unless I don't know, some people imagine space. It's just space. But I think that I am a bit of a believer in non-Euclidean space, and that's curved, like gravity curves the space. So I was reading about this, and I think Einstein was a bit of a non-Euclidean sort of dude, and he reckoned, space curves around gravity, and that got me thinking. What if the flat earthers are correct? And the earth is flat, but it's the space that's curved. They might all be laughing at us. Just putting it out there, food for thought. So that's the Tesseract. I think we got to wrap it up and move on to another segment because that's getting quite long. But thanks for the suggestion, Evers. Really appreciate it. And I can't wait to, see you again and share some Tesseract stories with you. All right, I think it's a good time for a song. We're just going to dive into the music today. This one is a bit of a weird experimental track. It sort of doesn't even have much of a title. It's called Red 2. Sounds like one of the X-Wing fighters from Star Wars. I'm sure some bigger Star Wars nerd out there knows which one Red 2 was. I hope it wasn't Luke. That would be embarrassing if I didn't know that. Anyway, here's Red 2. Jesus, what a track that was. Did that get you up and dancing or like bashing your wall or something? It's a bit aggro. Yeah, okay. Anyway, what am I doing? Where am I? Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? They're all questions you might ask yourself if you got into poetry. That's right, poetry's dangerous. It'll make you doubt yourself. You won't even know what reality is. You don't even know. You might start doubting everything. But, just like a phoenix coming out of the fire, you might come out with a bloody good poem and someone might publish you. You might get on a amazing hit radio, hit internet, hit podcast like Prion's Corner. And that's exactly what this guy's done. He sent me in a poem and I thought it was bloody beautiful. So this is a poem by Anais Jones, and it's got, I don't think he gave me a title, so I can't give you a title. I could make one up, but that's a bit inappropriate. So here's Untitled, and here we go. Always try too much, but no one really cares. Stowed away with all my books, wasted all my years. All alone like a ticking time bomb, smashed out on the street. But you and I shared all our fears, wrapped up each other's wounded feet. Talk all night with you. We watched the new day dawn. Crawl from underneath, embarrassed by everyone. Can you find the answer to all your wasted years? Don't hide away your secret life. Wipe away the tears. Even though my love for you made me totally incomplete, I had to break down to get started, crawl from underneath. Remember you and I walked suburban streets. We had the strangest time, and it's not complicated. Beneath the smog-filled sky, you with your mental mind, there I held your hand, and it's not complicated. Everyone I've loved has been a wounded soul, worn down by all the dramas, trying to console. Take my hand, don't pull me down. I'm all I'll ever be. Everyone I love is so complicated. Talk all night with you. We watch the new day dawn. Crawl from underneath, embarrassed by everybody. Remember you and I walked suburban streets. We had the strangest time, and it's not complicated. Beneath the smog-filled sky, you with your mental mood, there I held your hand, and it's not complicated. Thanks, Naas. Yeah, that was a really beautiful poem. I hope I did it justice. I hope I did all the correct intonations and things. To be honest, if you think I'm talking weird, it could be that I talk a bit weird, but it also could be I just had a bloody filling replacement today. It's been an ongoing thing for me lately. You're going to laugh at me, but I took flossing lessons the other day, and they said, I do the flossing between the teeth, yada yada. I knew all that, but they said you got to floss the back, like the very back, not between the teeth, like on the end. There's not even a tooth behind there, and so I thought, okay, well, it makes sense. I mean, I tried to brush, but it's pretty far back, way back there. So I'm flossing there, and it sort of catches, and I think, that's weird. Must be a little ridge. I'll just pull a bit harder and it'll come out. And you know what happened? There was a bonk and fucking this. I thought the flosser had snapped in my mouth, and I thought I was choking on a bit of plastic. I was like a cat with a bloody hairball. I was like, and it, just like that. And I got this thing out. I think I had to put my fingers in my throat. I don't know. I can't remember too much. I was panicking and freaking the hell out. And I got this thing, and it was black. And I was like, oh, that's the same colour as the plastic of my flosser. And I looked at the flosser, and I was like, that's intact. Where's that from? And it dawned on me that, you know, if it was a movie, you would have heard that sound effect that goes, and the camera would have done that thing where it zooms in, but the cameraman walks backwards, or maybe the cameraman walks forwards, but he zooms out, like, you know, the Home Alone thing. And I realised that I'd snapped me filling, and so for starters, why is it black? Oh, because I got one of those metal ones. You know, where I bite down, it's fine, but part of it was black. Like, that's pretty gross. You know, and I scratched it to make sure it wasn't like some weird mold growth, and I couldn't scratch it, so I guess it's just old oxidized filling. So that sucked. So I had this hole in my tooth for a while. I don't know why I'm saying me. Hole in my tooth for a while. And finally got to the dentist, and they said, oh, I've got to get rid of that filling, the rest of it. So they ground that down. Fuck, it hurt. And then they put in a temporary filling, because they got to wait for a while till I get my, you know, for the filling factory to make my custom-made filling just for my tooth. You know, I don't know why they couldn't have just given me one off the shelf or something, but oh well. And then, oh my God, you're really going to think I'm an idiot. And so last night I thought, okay, well, I still got to floss the tooth, because I got, 2 weeks for the filling to come back from the filling factory. And so I was like, I got to floss. I still got to floss. I don't want to get a filling, or I don't know. Don't want to, you know. Don't ask. So I flossed. I did it gently, you know. And so I just touched it, and the temporary filling just popped out. And I was like, oh my God, no. And so, you know, today it's been bloody hot here, and I had to walk, and I don't have many clothes here, you know, because I've still got my winter wardrobe. So the only clothing I've got is this like bright as like highlighter fluoro orange Hawaiian shirt that I got from an awesome little op shop in Dunedin. I think it was only $5 or something. It still smells a bit like op shop, even though I've washed it like 10, 15 times. And that's all I've got, really, because all my other shirts are either dirty or black. I don't want to wear a black t-shirt in the blasting sun. Black attracts the heat, as they say. So, you know, I don't know why I'm telling you about my shirt. I've got a Hawaiian shirt. I had to walk all the way there in the heat. It was pretty easy, though. They just, you know, slip, slop, slap. That is that. Temporary filling again. But, you know, if my voice is sounding weird, I'm going to blame it on the filling. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the boogie. Blame it on my filling. So, yeah. I hope I did your poem justice, Anais, because it was lovely. And send me your song as well, and I'll chuck your song on. Or send me another poem. I mean, to be honest, I've got a few poems, so, you know, the next few shows we'll get some poems going on. I've got a few other fans writing in, giving me their poems. I think maybe they're just taking pity on me, but, you know, we'll find out. You be the judge. At least you get to hear awesome poetry, so you win, you know. And to be honest, if you win, I win, because, you know, I'm doing this for you. I am doing this for me. Maybe it's an ego trip. I don't want to dive too deep into my motivations for why I'm doing this. or anything really. I don't really like to know too much about myself. Self-consciousness kind of freaks me out. We're already obsessed with identity as a society, so I think we'll drop that subject. Let's move on to another segment. You know what it's time for? It's time for the bloody meme news. What's going on in the world of memes? You have found a ripper. This is apparently one of the best memes of 2024. Okay, so we've got a photo of a guy. He's straight off the bat, I can see it's obeying the rule of thirds, which is fantastic. Well, you know, you can't beat the classics in photography. So we'll divide this. You got these three vertical lines here. You got on the left third of this picture is sort of like a tan color, you know, like kind of cooked beef, like a cooked sort of brown grey. It's quite a grey. It's not very saturated really. It's a brown kind of grey color. And on the right third, that's pretty much the same color. I think it's gradient, maybe a little bit darker. But what you're waiting for is in the middle, there's this guy's face. And I think they've gone with sort of similar tones. Now, I know this guy. I'm pretty sure it's Prince Harry, the young troublemaker of the royals. The what's the word? The bane of the royals. Take them down from the inside, Harry. Harry, he's attacking me. I never noticed it before, but it's probably the color grading, to be honest. But like, you know, I always thought, oh, he's just classic redhead, but it's really similar to the cooked beef segments on the left and the right. So yeah, sort of. Oh, maybe he's looking a bit older than I remember him. I don't keep up with the royals very much, but I don't know. Maybe his hair's aged, or maybe it is just. I think it is color grading because his eyes are quite blue. Like, yeah, I think someone's color graded the shit out of this. It's interesting, you know. You get a photo of someone, and have you ever done this? You get a photo of someone's face, especially if they're looking straight on, and you cover up half of their face with your finger. And so often it looks like one half is smiling and then the other half is, oh yeah, it's working with this guy. The other half is disgruntled. It's crazy. It's so subtle. You don't even notice it until you put your finger over it. Well, you might get different emotions from your photos. I don't know. Send me in some photos of half faces and make me guess what the other half is doing. That's a good one. But anyway, this is Prince Harry. His happy half is on the left with the lighter shade of beef. And that eye is looking directly at me. He must have been looking right into the camera. But if you cover it up and look at his disgruntled side, his other eye looks to be going just slightly off away, like he's giving you half his attention, but half of him is thinking about something else. And that's got more shadow on him, actually. He's got a nicely groomed beard. His head's cut off. And, this has even got the author of the meme. It says Charlie Clark at CharCCO. And there's a young guy in a circle with a shirt, like a black shirt. I can't see him very well. And so this is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the caption. It says, "Me to the HR department, : Okay, well that's good. All the spelling's correct there. Thanks. Loved my time being employed here. And then there's a space. You know, so he's saying that even though there's no quote marks, but I think the colon's pretty self-explanatory. and then it says me on Glassdoor, and then there's that picture of Harry surrounded by beef. And I think Glassdoor is a review site. I could be completely wrong. I have seen it, and I think the joke's saying like he's going to leave bad reviews because, I mean, he's got to be leaving bad reviews. That would make it funny. He's not going to say, thanks, love my time being employed here, and then, sandwich his own head between two beef shades and write a good review. That's not a funny meme. Yeah, it makes more sense because actually that's a really subtle one because, like I was saying before, half of his face is smiling, so that's his lying side. So if you're ever talking to Prince Harry, I reckon, so I have to turn my head around, it's his right side is the smiling one and the left side is the frowning one. So if you ever meet him, or point him to my podcast, episode 1, where we'll get him some dimples, just one Sprite bottle cheek pouch dimple maker for his disgruntled side, and then he can really deceive the HR department. I think he'd appreciate that. Harry, if you're listening, I don't know, if you catch up with the Preons Corner, but if you're listening, give me your address and I'll send you out a wee body modification kit. I'll cut open a little, I won't cut your cheek open, that's way too much responsibility, but I'll cut out a little square of plastic dimples and I'll even put in a needle with some cotton for you to stitch your cheek up. And because I'm a nice guy, I'll chuck in a sticker as well. Yeah, so give me your address and what any characters you like, and I'll try and rig that up. And if you didn't give your permission for that meme to be made, I'm sorry. That's kind of rude. Oh, now I'm feeling like I shouldn't be talking about the meme. Maybe I should get your permission first. Oh well, if you find out about my shenanigans, Harry, let me know and I'll edit it and run it by you, and then I'll take this episode down and put up a new one. Or, hey, here's a third option. Or I could make a really positive, flattering meme for you. So, yeah, get in touch. And I'll rig up a cool meme for you. Like just a totally positive one. Yeah, I could even Photoshop a dimple pouch on there for you. So, yeah, that's the meme news. And I think it's time for another song, don't you? Yes, I do. Who said that? Only me. Who are you? I am the song requester. Okay, what song would you like? I will not tell you. Surprise me. That's not a very good request. If you're the song requester, you should be, that sounds like your title. That sounds like the main thing that you should do is requesting a song. Hello? that was Kathy in the Sick Realm. What's Kathy doing in the Sick Realm? I don't know. But that's another Preon Suaency mashup. That's a mashup from a few gems from the vault, all sort of smashed together and curdled. And that features on Collage Music 16 VA on Music Concrete by the Institute for Alien Research, and you can find them on Bandcamp. And I want to do a shout out to them. Thank you very much for chucking my track on your compilation. I really appreciate it. And get in touch. And if there's any of your music I can chuck up on this podcast, I would be more than happy to. Bloody good stuff. Well, I think it's time for Preon's luxury tips to zhuzh up your life segment. So this is Preon's luxury tips to zhuzh up your life. Luxury. We all love it. Everyone seems to be obsessed with it lately. You look on the internet and everyone's, they're all trying to show off how luxurious their life is and how much money they've got and how fancy, how much, and the bling, they call it bling, all the shiny things. They're like magpies, aren't they? I shouldn't be saying they, me too. I was just bragging about my loud Hawaiian shirt before. I'm guilty as well, real guilty of it. And maybe you shouldn't be too guilty. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's all right to enjoy a bit of luxury, a bit of bling. Just, keep in mind that there are, people in horrible working conditions and factories making a lot of this plastic junk and, a lot of people paying for the excess wealth that other people have. That's a dark subject. Time for another. That belongs in another episode. I don't know if I can tackle that. I just stick to the fluffy, easy stuff here on Preon's Corner. Maybe that'll change. Maybe all the vitriol I have for the injustices of society is going to slowly start seeping out of my mouth. But right now, I'll try and hold it in and just focus on some luxury tips to zhuzh up your life. Righto. So Preon luxury tip to zhuzh up your life number 1, because this is the first time we've had this segment. So shiny. Diamonds, shiny like a diamond. Everyone loves diamonds. They're a girl's best friend. Man's best friend is a dog. Both begin with D. Double D batteries. Energy, power. Power equals diamonds times 2 equals duomons. So we're going to make some duomons on the cheap. So not, a lot of you can't afford diamonds. I can't afford diamonds. I mean, maybe if I worked really hard and sold everything I have, sold my loud Hawaiian shirt, sold my bung fillings, maybe I could afford a diamond, but I don't want one. I'd rather buy food. Food's fantastic. So here's how to make your own cheap diamonds. Get into your rubbish bin. Go on, open up the lid. Get in there. Get right down in there, in that sucker. Or if you do recycling, I don't know where you live. If you do recycling, get into your recycling bin. You might say, what are we looking for, Preon? I might say, you're not looking for anything. Just get in there. You're trash, mate. No, I'm just kidding. You're looking for plastic. And there's a lot of it around. I just heard the other day that there's microplastic in the bloody clouds now. That's terrifying. And it's in our brains, apparently. So, plastic's everywhere. maybe it's too late. Or, I mean, they might fix it for future generations, but I think we're pretty buggered. We got plastic in us, but it's still alive. I'm still standing, better than I ever was. We got so much plastic inside of me. And it's because money, I guess. Anyway, there we go, into the injustices of society again. Focus, Prion. Duomons, plastic duomons. So you want to grab some plastic, doesn't matter what it is. It can be anything. It can be a Sprite bottle, for all I care. You want to cut, so duomons are two, duo. So you want to get 2 bits, cut out 2 bits, or even if it's soft plastic, doesn't matter, Glad wrap. Don't cut it, actually, because that's contributing to microplastic. So just find 2 plastic things. And then you want to find a textile of some kind, or a sort of a sheet, anything flappy. So you got your 2 bits of plastic, something flappy, and something dangly. You got those together? I'll wait for you. I'll give you time. Or maybe pause it. Yeah, because we're already over the 43-minute mark. I've got to hurry this up. So you got your 2 bits of plastic, something flappy, something dangly. Right, wrap up your 2 bits of plastic together with your flappy thing. Tie it up with your dangly thing. And viola, duomons. And you can pose with those. You can jump on your Instagram or your TikTok and put it on your shoulder like a parrot, maybe. And maybe you're a plastic pirate and that's your parrot, your duomond parrot. And you can give it a wee pat, give it a wee take under the neck. You could draw a face on it. That'd be cool. And then, yeah, you've got your bling, and no one will know the difference because cameras are shit, and it'll just reflect all the sparkly light, I guess they call it. It'll reflect the sparkly stuff will shoot out of the plastic into the camera, and it'll look real dazzling. Your audience will be bedazzled by your duomons. And you can carry that around. You can take it to dinner. You can take it out to the ball game. You can walk it down the street. You could put a leash on it. And, you could give it a couple little legs, or you could put it in a trolley. If you've got a pram, you could push it around in your pram. And depends on the flappiness of the flapper you used and the crinkliness of the plastics, but might make some nice noise. You might... Oh, and that's another love I have is noise music. We've got to get onto that next episode. You could make some noise music with your duomons. Anyway, running out of time, blabbering on a bit. Thanks, Anas. Thanks, Evas, for getting in touch. Take care of yourselves. Everyone, not just those two. Remember, animals aren't humans. Anthropomorphizing might be cute, but it's a messy road that can lead to pain for both parties. And take care of yourself. Love you heaps. And goodbye. Farewell. Sayonara. Matane. Giane.